Mandio Law Firm, Penworth Financial Services, Penn Community Bank, The Capitol Grill, and Ventresca's LTD. From Inside the Birds, Adam Caplan, and voice of the Philadelphia Eagles, Merrill Reese.
Hello, everyone. It's Adam Caplan and Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds. You're listening to the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, and also seen live at WBCBsports.com. And Andrew, we're back here at Chicken Pizza on Roosevelt Boulevard. We were here a couple weeks ago.
Right.
We are hopefully going to be joined by Eagles running back Will Shipley, number 28. We believe Will's on his way. And the traffic it's here. We're in Northeast Philly, where I grew up, not too far from here.
The traffic was not good coming down here.
And our show tonight's produced by the great Chris Ermer. I'd like to thank Chris for a great job that he does, as always, producing us at all the Chicky and Pete's. And so let's roll here, Andrew. So the Eagles come off a big win against the Vikings. Talk about a crazy game. Could have gone either way. The Eagles were a slight favorite on the road at Minnesota, but they won. Somehow, some way, they're 5-2 as they head into this game this week against the Giants.
Yeah, the offense showed a lot of resolve in that game, Adam. The best passing performance that I've seen from Jalen Hurts in a long time, you could argue the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And I just thought that they found a way when the running game, and they stayed committed to it. 18 carries for Saquon Barkley. It wasn't working, but they stayed committed to both facets of the offense, and Jalen Hurts was dealing in that game. You saw a lot of deep shots, a couple to A.J., the 79-yarder to Devontae when they were under center, the play action. That's what you want to see out of that offense, and that's a reminder of what they're capable of when everything's firing on all cylinders. And then the defense made some timely plays. Jalix Hunt coming up with the interception that isn't even possible unless Jalen Carter, and he planted Carson Wentz, gets through there, and he beats the center. And Drew Makuba coming up with the interception there. It was like a gift. It was a punt. I think it was on the ensuing play.
That was just a bad decision by Hurts. In fact, I remember saying, there you go. There's the old Carson Wentz from 2019 and 2020. But getting back to the Eagles' offense, Andrew, first half, rather mundane, not much going on. They started off running well, and then the running game slid. At halftime, I'm like, I just don't have a feel for how this game's going to go. Now, Jeff Mosher and I and Greg Cosell, we did our pregame show for Inside the Birds, and we did say that despite what the numbers show, the tape shows this is the all-22, you could throw against them, the Vikings secondary, because they're voids, and that's what happened. But you've covered this team. You're there at every practice, particularly in training camp when you saw it. Let's go back to August, and we'll get back to this game in a second. This will lead up to the game. What did you see from the Eagles' passing game in the preseason, but specifically in training camp?
Well, it was more so the short to intermediate game. They weren't necessarily pushing the ball down the field, but they always had that capability. And Jalen Hurts has proven that over the number of years that he's been the Eagles' starting quarterback, that they have that in the arsenal. And he's very comfortable doing so. And they saw the void, as you mentioned. The middle of the field was very much open for the Minnesota Vikings, and the Eagles were able to pounce on the aggressive tendencies that the Vikings and a Brian Flores defense presents, and you have to give them a lot of credit for that. And that's, Jalen Hurts 326 yards passing. That's what you want to see.
It's funny, and you just said that's what you want to see. The fans are like, okay, where's this been the entire season?
Well, I don't know if it's always that simple. There's situations,
of course.
Circumstances, there's injuries that play into it, and it's not everything's not always in a vacuum. So it seems to me, at least based off of 1 week, that they're starting to hit their stride.
You would hope so, and you would hope it would carry over against the Giants team that 2 weeks ago the Eagles lost to. But getting back to this game, right? So you had Isaiah Rodgers, old friend Isaiah Rodgers, on the other side, right? And they went after him. I mean,
they did.
And it's funny because the fans were like, oh, how could the Eagles not re-sign him? Number one, the Eagles, as I understood it, they did make a run to try to re-sign him. It didn't happen. But Isaiah Rodgers has been a splash player for the Vikings. Lots of big plays, but you could throw against him. He's really not a number one corner. I think everybody knew that.
Yeah.
But Isaiah Rodgers, you covered him last year. Give us a bird's eye view of what you remember from Isaiah Rodgers.
Yeah, I like Isaiah very much. We had a good rapport. But he's very quick, and he anticipates throws, and he has good short area quickness. But the one area that I saw players be able to have success was bigger-bodied wide receivers. And that's what you saw in that game. There he is right now. Will, how are you doing?
Yeah, and we're going to get into that. And here he is, number 28 from Clemson University, second-year running back. Welcome to the Pro Football Report. Will Shipley, good to see you, man.
Yeah, Appreciate y'all having me.
Good to be with you, Will.
No doubt. Same here.
How you feeling after a big win like that, man?
Great. You know, it's good to get back on the right side of the board. Just got to keep improving, keep getting better, and looking forward to a good week against the Giants.
All right, so Will, let's talk about today is Tuesday, right? Typically, if you have a game on Sunday, it's a player's day off. What do you do on a day off? Give the listeners an idea of what you do.
Yeah, so day in the life, wake up, do a little bit of rehab, just get some soft tissue work on the body, whether it's massage, just some mobility stuff, get the body back in the right direction for the week. And then I usually do the hyperbaric chamber, whether it's over at NovaCare or, the Flyers have been kind enough to, let me go over there since I'm in Jersey and, use their hyperbaric chamber. So that's been awesome. Then I go by Kenny's Meals, grab about 8 to 10 meals for the week, make sure everything's prepped up, ready to go, and then, just spend some time with the wife. So it's awesome.
Nice. Andrew.
Yeah, so you and I spent a lot of time talking to each other last season for the Rookie Diary. And for those who don't know, you're big on cooking and meals and everything like that. So I have to ask, what's the latest? What do you got cooking up?
My wife has been doing an incredible job. Her and I have been trying new recipes. We just got a Blackstone for the backyard. For one of our wedding gifts, finally got it in. Shout out to the Ritas for that. But yeah, so we're trying a bunch of new different recipes. Most of them have been air fryer here lately because we've got an air fryer cookbook that we've been trying. So yeah, it's been good. We're definitely continuing to get better and better.
No smoker, no green egg yet?
No, thank God. But we got some stories from our apartment last year. I tell you, it didn't matter what you cooked, that smoke detector was going off. It was hectic.
So, Will, as a young guy, second year, now you just talked about food. Are you into nutrition?
Yes, yeah, it's big. I believe that it's the biggest ROI, return on investment for recovery besides sleep. So, you can get the Normatec boots, you can do the hyperbaric chamber, you can do this, that, the other, but if you're not handling your sleep and your nutrition, then, I think you're setting yourself back.
Now, speaking of that, what kind of food do you eat? How do you stay? Do you eat clean food, vegetarian, or meat, or what kind of food do you have?
Yeah, my wife is incredible about, fueling me the correct way. So just a lot of beef, a lot of chicken. As much protein as I can get, and then got to get the greens in there. That's the tough part for me.
Get your veggies.
Yeah,
right.
so she does a great job, whether it's making me a shake or throwing some spinach in the beef. She helps me get everything that I need to be ready for the week.
There you go.
So this week featured a new kickoff return tandem, you and Xavier Gibson. That was Xavier's first game with the Eagles. He had the 37-yarder. You had, I believe, a 33-yarder. What have you observed in how Xavier has been adapting? I think he's only been here 3 weeks now.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. I love X in the locker room and just who he is as a character. Now, as a football player, he's a baller too. I think everybody was able to see that this week. So, I'm excited to be back there with him, and I think we just got to continue to take advantage of the opportunities that are presented to us, and hopefully we can get a big one and bang our head on the goalpost here soon.
He brings a lot of positive energy, definitely, having talked to him a couple times. You can clearly see that even though that was your first game together, that there was a lot of communication. So could you talk a little bit about the communication that goes into that facet of the game?
Yeah, it definitely never lacks back there. You've got to be communicating, where the ball goes, whether the call is switched up based off of if it's outside the numbers or in the alley. There's definitely different things. Also just who's catching the ball. But, I would say there's really one communicator. So going into the game, it's like, all right, I'll be the calm guy, or in another game, it could be him being the calm guy. And essentially we call who's going to get it. Is me, you. And then, like I said, if we've got a double 4 and 3 to the play side, if it gets kicked outside of the numbers to the opposite of that, then we're changing it to just go straight up and just switching it up. So it's just a lot of communication. Pretty much whatever Coach Clay calls, you just got to know what your responsibility is, and we've done a great job of that.
Well, how much different is the NFL kickoff return, which the rules got revised a couple years ago, to what you had at Clemson?
Yeah, it's complete opposite. At Clemson, it was the guys lined up, stacked up, between 20, 30 yards. Now it's everybody at the 40-yard line for them, and down at the 35 for us, and it's ultimately about catching the football downhill, making sure that you're getting every tenth of a second that you can at the front end, and then just being able to read those guys up front. We've got a tremendous front line. If they can just get a body on a body, then we've got an opportunity to take advantage of those lanes.
It's kind of like inside zone, right? Like we were talking about last week.
Yeah, it 100% is. I think you can see the similarities just based on whether they go front side, it's going to be a backside cut, or they're standing big on the back, then it could be a front side. So yeah, you definitely see a lot of similarities, and I think that's helped me just adapt to it and get used to it.
Well, as a rookie, and I know Andrew did a rookie diary with you last season, which we really enjoyed it Inside the Birds, but as a rookie, were there any mentors? Was it Saquon? Anyone you looked up to when you first got to Philly?
Yeah, I think Saquon is the name that jumps off the board. Along with that, Kenny G from last year, he played a huge role in just helping me with everything that a rookie struggles with. But yeah, Saquon, he's one of a kind, man, in terms of just who he is as a football player. If I was just able to sit there and watch, I would learn a ton. But he makes it that much better because he's willing to share. He's willing to take me through what he's thinking. If he sees this is what's going through his mind, and he's been very generous in that way. So I'm very appreciative of him for sure.
And now it seems like you paid it forward, because I talked to whether it was Shunderick Powell in the summer or Montrell Johnson. You were one of the first players, even Darius Cooper, you were one of the first players that they mentioned in terms of just helping them acclimate. Is that something that comes natural to you, and do you just gravitate towards that naturally?
Yeah, I think I kind of just gravitate towards it. It's something that I've always kind of embodied, whether it's from my upbringing or whatever the case is. It's like whatever knowledge I have, however I can help you out through a situation you're going through, or different thoughts. Like I'm going to give you all my experience and all my knowledge, and I think that's why our organization is so great, because you see that from the older guys, and then someone like me gets that treatment my rookie year, and now I want to go and do the same thing. So it really starts from the top, and I'm just passing it on.
Tell us about Jamal Singleton, your running backs coach.
The best, man.
Why?
Just who he drives me to be as a person more than anything. I think that just the standard he holds himself to on and off the field, the type of man that he is, the husband, the father, and then also on the football field. He's taught me that you can always get better at something. And, you're never going to reach your full potential, so you always got to be in that go mode. And every rep that you watch, there's something that you can fix, so make sure you find it. Those are just a couple things that, definitely resonate with me.
On the field, if you had to pick one thing that sort of helped shape your game from Jamal, what would that be?
Yeah, I would say just the details with the different runs. Whether it's keeping your shoulders square, giving that shoulder tick on inside zone, outside zone, making a decision on the fourth step, and getting vertical. No hesitation, no extra movement that wouldn't be used. So yeah, just on the different runs, how detailed you have to be, because those linebackers mirror you. Everybody's watching something different. So if you can just get half a yard or 1/10 of a second, like that can truly be the difference in this league.
Well, you mentioned Kenny Gainwell, who's now with the Steelers, right? So he was the third down back, the pass protector. Now, this is a big role for you this season, obviously on third down. What did you do to help yourself improve in pass protection?
Yeah, it's something that I just put my head down and I really worked at this offseason. It's something that I didn't have to do too much in college, but was never afraid of doing it. And I think that's where a lot of it comes, is you just got to be willing to go and make a physical play. It's two guys 10 yards apart, running and meeting wherever you meet in there, right? So it's just really the want to, and then obviously all of the technical stuff. Coach Singleton does a great job of coaching us up on pass pro. But yeah, just got to go in there with the mentality like it's going to be a fight, and there's a lot of technicals on where you can put your head and how wide you want your feet apart. All that stuff plays a great deal, and Coach Singleton has helped me with that.
You could certainly see that paying off, especially right before the half. You had a couple where you stoned, I think it was Eric Wilson, the linebacker. Does being a personal protector on punt, I know it's a little bit different, but does that help you translate over into the pass pro?
You know, it's funny you asked that because I was thinking about that after the game. You know, being a personal protector, that's honestly the most one-on-one blocking I'll probably ever do. You know, whether I'm in the backfield, the percentage that I'm one-on-one with somebody is a lot higher as a personal protector. And that's definitely helped me out. You know, doing it since last year, game 1 against Green Bay, you know, it's just the ability to get those reps. And, you know, those transfer over. It's not the exact same for sure, but it does transfer over and help me out with just getting that experience.
All right, everyone, you're listening to the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, and also seen live at WBCBsports.com. It's Adam Caplan, Andrew DiCecco, and Will Shipley. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Do you have a large party of 10, 20, even 50 people? We can't wait to treat you like family at Chicky and Pete's. Forget about deposits or credit card reservations. Making a reservation for your large group is effortless at Chickies and Pete's. Lots of options to celebrate and make your night out unforgettable. Order off the menu or select from food and drink packages, private party rooms available. Make your reservations right now at chickiesandpete's.com. And don't forget, Chicky and Pete's gift cards are the perfect fit for any occasion. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Adam Caplan and Andrew DiCecco.
Everybody, welcome back to the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, and also seen live at WBCBsports.com. It's Adam Caplan and Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds, and number 28 from your Philadelphia Eagles, fourth rounder out of Clemson, Will Shipley. Thank you, Will, for joining us. There are a ton of people here wanting your autograph, man. By the way, Will, I meant to ask you this question. So you got drafted here in Philly. What did you think of the fan base when you got here?
Yeah, I first of all, my brother went to the UPenn.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So he's, two years older than I am. He went to UPenn.
Okay.
You know, he lived here, and him and his boys went to the Eagles games all the time. So I got a little bit of a head start knowledge from him. But I absolutely love this fan base. And, you know, coming from a place like Clemson, who the fan base is also very passionate. They care a lot about their players. You know, I think Philly fans are probably a little more back and forth in terms of when we're doing good. You know, they're going to praise us, and when we're doing bad,
he gets it.
we get the scrutiny. And, you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing because
Sure.
all I can say is I love the passion.
Now, I want to relive a moment from the postseason last year. I can vividly remember talking to you after this play. You even showed me the photo of this play that the team gave to you. In the NFC title game, you forced a fumble on special teams. I'm sure everyone would love to hear you relive that play.
Yeah, no, it's definitely my favorite play from my rookie year for sure. But, you know, big NFC championship game against the Commanders. And, you know, ultimately my role last year was a core four guy who, you know, was trying to make plays on special teams. And I look at that every opportunity that I get on the field, I just want to be able to help my team win. So, you know, it just ended up coming in that game with that opportunity. But, you know, did the same thing that I do on really every other one, and that's, you know, making sure that my outside shoulder is free. You know, it was actually a little bit of a knuckleball, you know, pre-knuckleball time. but it landed early, so I ended up going inside of the left end instead of outside to keeping my outside shoulder free. So I'm running inside. He's got a pretty good hold on my back right. I'm like, oh crap, I got to get my right shoulder free. Like I got to get outside leverage here. So and I see the lead returner coming to block me as well. All I'm thinking in my head is I got to get outside. I got to get back outside. And, it's funny, the linebacker coach, after, I made him fumble and I came off, he was like, how'd you do it? Did you punch it out? I'm like, I do not know. It was in my helmet or something in there that ended up getting the ball out. But, yeah, like I said, it's just doing what I do every time, and, the opportunity just presented itself.
Well, by the way, speaking of the Super Bowl, and then we're going to get to our injury review, but what did you do with your ring? Where is it?
It is locked up in a very safe place.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah.
You look
yeah,
at it
so
all
I've
the
got, oh,
season?
yeah. No,
Dude.
anytime, anytime I reminisce about it, I've got a good old video on my phone that I'll look at. But, the first couple weeks, I spent a lot of time with it. It was right there on my bedside. And now it's locked up in a safe place.
Was it kind of one of these, how long did it take you to come off of that Super Bowl high? Like weeks, months, 2 days? Like, did you keep thinking about it? Like, is this real? I was a rookie. How did I win a Super Bowl? Like, what was that like for you as a rookie?
Yeah, it was surreal. I think for me, it kind of went into the off season just because all my family and my friends, and when I went back home to Charlotte in the off season, like it is surreal to see other people's perspectives. And for me, it was unbelievable. I tell everyone who asks, like, I feel spoiled to get drafted to such a great organization and to get a Super Bowl in my first year. Like, I understand how blessed I am for that. So I just really appreciate it. And, I was able to get back to work soon in March. But, yeah, I definitely just appreciated it and took it all in while the time was there.
All right, guys, it's time now for this week's injury review, brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. Contact them today for a free consultation at 215-806-3689. That's 215-806-3689. And Will, Cam Jurgens goes down early with the knee injury, and Brett Toth, at a moment's notice has got to play center. I don't, like these sudden changes, man. When you're asked to do something that, yes, he's done it before, but you've had to do it as a collegiate or as a high school player. How tough is it when you got to do something different that you may have practiced during that week?
Yeah, it's definitely tough, and you never want anyone to get injured. So, speedy recovery to Cam. But for Brett to come in, like, everybody has full confidence in him. How he prepares throughout the week is nothing short of a starter, and his communication, he's on tee with it, and like I said, there is definitely no drop in confidence when Brett goes in there of hey, that's our guy, he knows what he's doing, and he's prepared for this moment just like everyone else is.
People forget, Andrew, he's been here since 2019, off and on, of course, the roster.
Yeah, this is his 7th year. I've had some really good conversations with Brett, and so I have a question about the oblique, because that's what Grant's dealing with right now.
Yeah.
What is it? What does that feel like? What's the recovery process like, and how are you able to sort of navigate through that?
Yeah, I got mine week 1, Dallas, and it's a little bit different for everybody from the couple guys that I've talked to. Mine was in the front of my rib cage. Front abs. Some people can get it all the way, in their rear rib cage. But for me, it was just really the twisting and rotational piece to it. It's just getting that back down, being able to, breathe through all of your movements. And you've got to be ready for when you go back out there, especially Grant for tight end, me for running back. When you're engaged on a block and, you're trying to stick with them, your obliques are what's keeping you still there, right? So, it's just making sure that you're confident that you can go out there and do what you need to do. But for me, it was, a good 2-3 weeks, and you're never going to feel 100% during the season. I fully believe that as well.
Do you wear protection for it?
Yes. Yeah, I've got a rib, just the same way that I wear extra pads on my shoulders. I got it down on my ribs now. It's not one of those big quarterback protectors, but, yeah, I got some stuff covering.
Well, we're going to talk about the edge rush, because this Azeez Ojulari with a hamstring, but of course, the added Brandon Graham today. Well, give the folks an idea what it's like to be Brandon Graham's teammate.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, the leader that he is, just the vocal leadership, also the leadership by example. I mean, he just entails everything that you want in a locker room. So, I think I speak for everybody when I say that we're really excited to have BG back.
Do you have a favorite BG story?
Probably all throughout last year camp. Whenever I got in there and BG was on the other side, he would point me out and say, "It's a pass, it's a pass." So just toying with me as a rookie. But yeah, I think just his playful nature and how much he likes to talk trash, everybody will be excited to have that back.
I was missing here, and locker rooms closed. Right?
Oh, yeah. So, boy, even by the way, players have been doing that for like decades at NovaCare. It's funny you mentioned that because I don't know if Asante Samuel started it.
I don't know, but BG, we'll probably hear that tomorrow. I can't wait.
I know.
It'd be interesting. So Azeez Ojulari with a hamstring. The Eagles ended the game with just 3 edge rushers. By the way, speaking of, so we'll see what they do with him, but Jihad Campbell, tell the folks about Jihad Campbell watching him practice against you.
Yeah, he's incredible. We saw it all throughout camp, just his physical ability, but also, the mental ability to pick up a playbook, go out there and have the confidence to, do what he did. So, yeah, I think everyone's seeing, he is a specimen, somebody that has to be dealt with, and he's done a tremendous job so far.
All right, Andrew, Adoree Jackson now with a concussion. So what does the cornerback situation look like to you right now?
Yeah, that was scary. Adoree suffered a nasty concussion there, and it's looking like Keely Ringo. I know this week Jacorian Bennett, at least by my estimation, is eligible to have the 21-day window open. We'll see if that happens, but those are the 2 players that I think you look at. And they also have Mac McWilliams, who's my rookie diary subject this year, who's also in the fold. And Vic Fangio has spoke glowingly about his work behind the scenes, primarily as a nickel, but he's also working outside as well.
Mac McWilliams, what are your thoughts on Mac? Will?
Yeah, I love Mac too. My first game back against the Bucks was really his first game getting gunner reps out there. So you talk to someone a lot throughout the week on something small like that, and Mac he keeps his head down, but he works really hard, and just another really good guy to have in the locker room, and somebody that you trust because he puts the preparation in.
I know that you haven't played gunner. But I was talking to Keely about this. What makes a good gunner? That looks like an awfully challenging position because it's one against 2, and you have to have quick feet and all that.
Keely Ringo and Sidney Brown. That's what makes good gunners.
They get after it.
Oh, truly. I mean, you watch those guys outside. I mean, it's something to watch. It's tough to ever try to take them one-on-one because they know what they're doing. They get down the field, and they do such a tremendous job. So it's just having that speed, that confidence, and being able to also be physical and tough when they do double you up.
For special teams, because you're returning, do you work mainly with Tyler Brown or both him and Michael Clay?
Yeah, I work with both,
Okay.
pretty closely throughout the week, just, especially with PP. Me and Michael are always talking about different looks, kind of what their philosophy is, different plays we have going into the week. And then Tyler Brown does a great job of getting us ready, catching the football, whether it's extra kick returns after with, knuckleball involved. And, just I really work with everyone because I do a little bit of everything.
Does Michael Clay do anything special for the meetings? Like I think Kylan Granson, Jeremiah Trotter, they're second in the NFL in special teams tackles. Did they shout it out? Did they put anything up on the board or anything?
Yeah, Coach Clay does a tremendous job of giving gratitude where it's deserved. And he highlights it. We watch all the plays from the game, and he really goes through everybody one by one, and just gives us a lot of respect for the amount of effort and toughness we're putting in. But when you talk about Trot and Kylan, I mean, it's been fun to watch. Those guys are getting after it. Camla too. Just the way he's impacted special teams. They're really leading the group right now, and it's because all the work they put in, and ultimately Coach Clay putting us in a position to succeed.
You, Cam, and Sydney are creeping up that list too.
Yeah, we got to keep going. Keep going.
All right, that was the injury review brought to you by the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio. It's Adam Caplan, Andrew DiCecco, and Eagles Will Shipley. And you're listening to the Pro Football Report on WBCB. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Go where the players go. Come join us all season for Eagles pep rallies, watch parties, and the best in-game experience anywhere. Ice cold draft beer, world famous food, and fan-friendly fun for every Eagles game. Every Monday night in South Philly, the Jordan Mailata Show, presented by Miller Lite, followed by Chicky and Pete's Players Lounge with a current player, hosted by Ike Reese and Hugh Douglas. Go where the players go. Chickies and Pete's.
Hey BCWSA customers, this is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. My friends at BCWSA are committed to providing us with safe, reliable water and sewer services. They operate state-of-the-art treatment facilities, provide clean drinking water, and make much-needed investments to protect our environment and ensure a sustainable future. Learn how BCWSA's investments help grow and serve our communities. Visit bcwsa.net. BCWSA, proven.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Do you have a large party of 10, 20, even 50 people? We can't wait to treat you like family at Chicky and Pete's. Forget about deposits or credit card reservations. Making a reservation for your large group is effortless at Chickies and Pete's. Lots of options to celebrate and make your night out unforgettable. Order off the menu or select from food and drink packages. Private party rooms available. Make your reservations right now at chickiesandpete's.com. And don't forget, Chicky and Pete's gift cards are the perfect fit for any occasion. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. Once again, here are your hosts, Adam Caplan and Andrew DiCecco.
All right, everyone, welcome back. You're listening to the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, and also seen live at WBCBsports.com. It's Adam Caplan, Andrew DiCecco from Inside the Birds, and along with our special guest, number 28, a fourth rounder last year out of Clemson, Will Shipley. Good to see you again, Will. Glad you could get here and appreciate it because traffic was not easy to get here today.
Yeah, it's all right. I appreciate y'all having me.
And it's on your day off because players don't usually get a day off. But by the way, other than rehab, you talked about that. Food shopping, run errands, write checks. What else do you do on your day off?
Write checks.
I'm usually always.
That's what I do.
Right. I'm usually always watching a show with my wife, or just
Netflix
relaxing.
and stuff?
Netflix, HBO Max, Paramount Plus. We really just get recommendations from friends.
Oh, cool.
And kind of whatever it's on, we'll just do a free trial.
And
Try to finish it quick.
Next Top Chef, you still going on that?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
finished
cool.
it. Did you watch it?
I started it.
Okay, gotcha.
I started. I like it. I love that stuff.
No, we love cooking shows. So we absolutely love that one. I'm on Mobland right now. Paramount Plus.
I haven't. I'll have to check that.
It's a great. It's got a hold of me right now. So
Okay.
I'm about 6 episodes through. I got another 4 to go.
All right.
All right, it's time now for this week's Penworth Financial Keys to the Game. The key to your financial future is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503 or visit them at penworth.com. And hey, this is amazing. They're playing the Giants again, and that was a tough loss. No one saw that coming, including you guys, I'm sure. But hey, it's the NFC East, Will. You never know. You're playing those Giants again, but this time it's at home. You've seen their tape. You know what? No, you're an offensive guy. You're also on special teams. Give us an idea, because you've already seen the tape of the Giants' defense. What does the defense look like to you?
Yeah, they're really stout up front, and when you got guys up front in the trenches, it makes just everything easier from the levels back to that. So, props to really their whole defense. They've got a great group of guys, and we just got to put in the right preparation to make sure we're ready when we go out there.
How about from a coverage unit perspective? What looks did they present?
Say it again.
From a coverage unit, from kick coverage.
Kick coverage, yeah. We were matchup last game against them, so it was just a lot of one-on-one blocks. Front side. They've got a couple primary guys that they really just let loose and send to the football. And then, other than that, you got your responsibilities, keeping your outside shoulder free, backside stuff. But yeah, I'm sure Coach Clay will put together a great plan for us to go out there and succeed on that, and every other special teams. But it's really just all about the work.
So going back to their defense, Abdul Carter, big-time first-round pick. What does his tape look like to you?
Yeah, really good. To be such a high draft pick out of Penn State and really come in and do what he's done. Really, that whole rookie class from the Giants have really just done a great job. It's fun to watch, fun to compete against. Props to those guys, and we're just getting ready for a great week.
At playing the running back position, what are your impressions of rookie Cam Scatterbo?
Yeah, he's a stud. I watched his stuff last year from ASU, and I don't know anybody that didn't know his name and what he did in the college football playoffs. So, he's a really good talent, somebody who's just aggressive as all get out. I think everyone sees that, and you've got to have respect for someone who plays the game like that and has that aspect of aggressiveness and just going out there physically and doing his thing.
So to bounce back, you guys had that huge win over the Vikings. We saw Coach Sirianni's little speech. They put a little snippet on the website. Let's talk about Coach Sirianni. Your thoughts on him now, your second season? This guy's won a lot of games, one of the best coaches in Eagles history. Give us your thoughts on Coach Sirianni.
Yeah, I've been very blessed with head coaches, all the way back from high school, Andy Capone, Tim Carson my freshman year, and then go to college with, Coach Sweeney, and now I got Coach Sirianni. So I've been so blessed with, a line of great coaches, great leaders more so, people that know how to lead men and not only develop you on the football field, but off the football field as well. And, that's exactly what Coach Sirianni does. He always finds a way to get us motivated, get us, on the right track, and ultimately just give us the best chance to go out there on Sundays and win.
When you say motivated, is it a speech or is it one-on-one, meeting one-on-one? Like, what does he do to motivate you guys?
Yeah, that's the thing. Is it's different. It's whatever's needed in the moment.
Wow.
Whether it's the message that he's put together for the team meeting or just knowing his guys, knowing his players. He just does a tremendous job of that togetherness portion.
Sure.
Tough, detailed together. That's what we preach, and he really does a great job of making sure all those are executed.
Yeah, I think one of the more remarkable things, just being around Nick Sirianni for the past 4 seasons, is the culture that he's established there. It really is something to behold.
Yeah. I think a lot of people, especially at least me growing up, I was like, I don't think there's much culture, especially compared to college football and NFL locker rooms. You got young rookies like me, and then you got guys like BG going into double-digit years with kids, so like how do you mold that into a locker room? And Coach Sirianni, it's exactly what he does. He gives us a message, to where we want to spend time with one another. We want to get to know each other outside of the football field, and that makes us go a little bit harder for one another on the football field.
Did you have any pre-draft meetings with him? Did he challenge you to a game of horse or anything?
No, I didn't have any pre-draft meetings with him, but I met Coach Singleton throughout the process.
Oh, cool.
And I knew just from our meetings that Philly was a place that I wanted to be.
Give us an idea of Coach Petrullo, the Eagles' offensive coordinator. He calls the plays. Not a lot of people. I know he's been with the Eagles 5 years, but not a lot of people know him. Give us an idea of what it's like to work with him.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Like I've talked about, it's really easy to be confident in someone when you see the preparation that they put in. Okay. And I think that's how I can describe it is he works his butt off. He watches hours and hours of film to put us in the right situation out there on the field. And, ultimately both the players on both teams are getting paid. We've seen a lot of stuff this year offensively, but when you see someone put in that much preparation, you've got a lot of confidence in just the output that's going to occur.
I got to ask you about the guy on the other side. One of my favorite coaches, just to hear him speak, is Vic Fangio, because he puts it all out there. He's crusty, but he's phenomenal, Hall of Fame type coach. I know you're from offense, but give us an idea of what it's like to be around Vic Fangio.
Yeah, I just got so much respect for him. He's all about ball, baby, and he's got that personality where he's going to tell you what he thinks, and I think that's really good. So he's very talented at what he does, and I've got a lot of respect for him for sure.
What's it like going up against the Vic Fangio-led defense in practice?
Oh, it's competitive. It's competitive as all get out. We'll have a competitive period. Maybe defense, gets the best of us. We'll hear about it in the huddle after, the team huddle. He's very confident in what he does, and he's not afraid to speak on it when he gets the best of the offense.
By the way, do you talk junk at all? In practice, in games, specifically practice. We'll get to games another time, but practice. Hey, if you make a big play, hey, you say anything to the defense?
No, I'm a little more quiet on the field. I just like to go out there, play ball, be focused in the moment, and if that means that I get a little excited and say a little something, then it does. But I definitely don't hang my hat on it for sure.
I think I saw you mix it up with either Dallas or somebody, not necessarily talking, but mixing it up and a little bit of a push it and shove it.
yeah, man, it's fun.
Yeah.
So we're doing the keys of the game, right? So 2 weeks ago, we were all stunned. You guys lost against the Giants, and they were whooping it up after the game. Like, this was like their Super Bowl, and I get it. You guys are the Super Bowl champs. So what's going to take 2 weeks later? You just had a big win against Minnesota to follow it up and beat those Giants.
Yeah, just double down on our preparation. We know that our coaches are going to put us in the right spot to go out there and succeed. And, ultimately it comes down to us doing our due diligence and, putting our best foot forward and just honing in on those keys, tough detail together all week, making sure that we're never going to reach perfection, but we want to get as close to it as possible throughout our reps and just get great looks just go out there and play free on Sunday.
I want to circle back to Michael Clay, Will, because I've been really impressed with him over the last number of seasons and his ability to tap into all of his resources and leave no stone unturned and find ways to get everybody, engaged in special teams. What makes him, in your estimation, so effective as a coach?
I think it's because in his head he's still a player, and I joke around all the time. Me, Ben, Van Sumeren, and A.J. Dillon, we all think that Michael Clay could be on a 53-man roster to this day. He's running around practice, so I think he in his mind, he's still got that player's mindset. He asks us for our input all the time. What do we see? How are we feeling throughout the game? What changes can he make to help us out? So, it's just that progressive mindset that, anything that pops up, he's going to be able to adjust and adapt to put us in the best position.
There's one guy we didn't mention. That's the legend, Joe Panunzio. Give people, I knew you'd laugh. This guy, Chip Kelly brought him in, by the way. Wow. Give us an idea who Joe Panunzio is to you.
Oh, man, he's like a father figure to me, honestly. Me and Joe P just sit down and talk all the time. But what he is to the program is incredible. To the special teams, he helps us out a ton. But I think everyone knows what I'm talking about when I say those Saturday night Joe P talks. The night before the game. He always got a great message for us, and ultimately just a hype man, somebody that is gonna make sure you're doing your job, but also cheer you on while you're doing it.
I don't want to forget to ask you about Johnny Wilson, because I remember last season you said you guys were really close. How's he doing?
Yeah, he's doing really good. Actually saw him yesterday. We went and got some Jersey Mike subs. But yeah, he's doing good in his recovery. he's got a really good mindset in terms of just maximizing his potential, going out there, getting healthy so that he can come back and still cheering his guys on, checking up on me, still around the facility, just not as involved as if he didn't get injured, but he's in a really good headspace and doing really good things.
Great.
All right, those were the Penworth financial keys to the game. The key to your financial future, Andrew, is Penworth Financial. Call them today at 267-997-4503 or visit them at penworth.com. It's Adam Caplan, Andrew DiCecco, and number 28 from the Eagles, Will Shipley. You're listening to the Pro Football Report on WBCB. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's. Do you have a large party of 10, 20, even 50 people? We can't wait to treat you like family at Chicky and Pete's. Forget about deposits or credit card reservations. Making a reservation for your large group is effortless at Chickies and Pete's. Lots of options to celebrate and make your night out unforgettable. Order off the menu or select from food and drink packages. Private party rooms available. Make your reservations right now at chickiesandpete's.com. And don't forget, Chicky and Pete's gift cards are the perfect fit for any occasion. Only at Chickies and Pete's.
This is Tommy Green from the 1993 National League champion Phillies. Every champion needs a good game plan. BCWSA and I want to make sure you have a game plan when it comes to conserving our most precious resource, water. Whether you're washing dishes, brushing your teeth, or watering your garden, there are ways you can save water and save money. Visit bcwsa.net for tips on conserving water. BCWSA, proven.
When an Eagles player gets hurt, the team takes care of him. When you get hurt, the attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will take care of you. They understand that a severe accident can be a life-altering event. You need a reliable teammate to fight for you. The attorneys at Begley, Carlin, and Mandio will get you great results. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. Contact them today at 215-750-0110 for a free consultation. 215-750-0110 for a reliable ally that's on your side.
Rob's Automotive and Collision Center in Lower Bucks County is a full-service repair center with competitive prices, top-of-the-line products, and the finest auto body and mechanical repair technicians anywhere. Rob's makes repairing your car easy. Same-day service guaranteed. Whether it's an oil change, state inspection, or a mechanical issue, Rob's will have you in and out and on your way. 2700 Veterans Highway in Bristol, 215-826-9200 for 24-hour emergency towing. Call 215-826-0250.
Head out to Dion Square, located at South Oxford Valley and South Olds Boulevard, to get all your essentials in one place, with the following businesses ready to serve you: Pat Dion Beverages, CVS Pharmacy, Hair Cuttery, Smile Culture Dental, Biomat, Liberty Auto Tags, Pennsylvania Fine Wine and Spirits, Lee's Hoagie House, R&J Smoothies and Juices, AutoZone, and First National Bank and Trust of Newtown. Make Dion Square your one-stop for all your shopping needs at South Oxford Valley Road and South Olds Boulevard in Fairless Hills.
Hi, it's Pete from Chicky and Pete's, the official sports bar of your world champion Philadelphia Eagles. Go where the players go. Come join us all season for Eagles pep rallies, watch parties, and the best in-game experience anywhere. Ice cold draft beer, world famous food, and fan-friendly fun for every Eagles game. Every Monday night in South Philly, the Jordan Mailata Show, presented by Miller Lite, followed by Chicky and Pete's Players Lounge with a current player, hosted by Ike Reese and Hugh Douglas. Go where the players go. Chickies and Pete's.
We now return to Chickies and Pete's for the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA. For a final time, here are your hosts, Adam Caplan and Andrew DiCecco.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Pro Football Report presented by BCWSA right here on 1490 WBCB and 107.3 FM, and also seen live at WBCBsports.com. It's Adam Caplan, Andrew DiCecco, and number 28 from the Eagles, Will Shipley. All right, man. So Andrew and Will, it's interesting. When we come into a season, you never know. The NFL is so crazy. You just never know. But, Andrew, you and I talked coming into the season what this team could look like, right?
Yeah.
I think it's kind of along the line of, I don't pick game. Okay, well, we might give an overall record, but we knew the Eagles were going to be good. But you never know. The NFL is so crazy. You never look at the Giants last week, the Eagles' opponent.
Sure.
One of the craziest losses I've ever seen. And I've covered this business 27 years. I can't even describe the fourth quarter. But, Andrew, you've seen this Eagles team now. You've been around them since Nick Sirianni got here. What makes Nick Sirianni so unique?
I think, and Will can certainly attest to this, his ability to relate to his players and be consistent every day with his messaging and just be really diligent in the preparation, not feed into anything that's going on outside and focus on everything internally and what they can do moving forward to best put them in position to win each and every week. And if you think back to almost every game that the Eagles have played under Nick Sirianni, they're ready to go each and every week. There's never that lull or that lapse, and I think that is a testament to his messaging and how that resonates within the locker room.
So, Will, what I find interesting is I talked to a coach who Nick worked with the Colts and said, hey, what could you tell me about this guy? He goes, he's big on connecting. He goes, let them tell you what that means and report back to me what you hear. It's very unique. Like, usually coaches want to keep their distance. I know, like, you're not going to be best friends with a coach, but what does connecting mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's just kind of like I alluded to earlier. Once you're able to connect with somebody, you care about them, and then that makes you do a little bit more for them on the back end, whether it's, football relationships, a football locker room, or, your relationships outside of football. When you connect with someone, you care for them, and you'll do a little bit more for them.
What's the biggest lesson that you learned after your rookie season that you applied going into year 2?
I would just say what it's like to practice like a pro. And it's something that, I'm still continuing to get down. But, like I said, being so blessed to have Saquon and Kenny in front of me last year, both of those guys are pros in and out, how they practice, their preparation leading up to Sunday. So I think that's where I made the biggest jump from year 1 to year 2 and the things that I learned, and I was able to carry those over. But something I'm continuing to get better and better at.
Well, I wanted to ask you about your growing up. Did you always, A, play running back, and B, if you did, or when you started to do it full time, anyone you patterned your game after, anyone you really followed as a kid?
Yeah, I really played running back from the first time I can remember. I always did offense and defense, even all the way through high school. I played safety as well as running back. But I always loved scoring touchdowns, and I feel like at the running back position, that gave me the best chance to do that, especially early on. So, yeah, it's just something that I picked up real early. Yeah.
How about football IQ, Will? We talked about that at training camp. One thing that really stuck with me, talking to you every week last year, is your highly exceptional football IQ. Where does that stem from, and how did you go about honing in on that?
Yeah, just all the great coaches that I've had. And, there's always a degree of want to. Someone's got to want to understand it, to really put in the time. And, that's something that I've done just because I love it. But I've also had such great guides to be able to know how to watch film, how to study somebody and pick up the right clues, be looking at the right things. It's just something that you got to put in the work, just like anything else. So, yeah, I definitely take pride in it. And, I think that it's something I hang my hat on, but just always continuing to grow and progress and find new ways to, give myself an advantage out there.
Yeah, I think the best example for that is you. You mentioned it, week 1 last season, personal protector on punt. I have to imagine you didn't have any experience playing that position at Clemson.
Oh, yeah, did you?
Yeah, no, you're right. I didn't play any special teams at Clemson except for kick returner, throughout my whole career there. So it was something new for me, but they put me in positions leading up to week 1 to get me ready for that. And it's something that I just had to kind of dive into, watching the opposing team, whoever we were playing that week, what rushes they're sending. Are they heavy 8, 7, 6 box? Just different things that you look at. And Coach Clay and TB, Coach, Joe P, they all did a great job of helping me learn how to study, those behaviors myself and pick it up as quickly as I did.
Communication's obviously key there, but did you feel comfortable right out of the gate being a vocal guy?
Yeah, I think with that position at PP, it's something where I feel like I've got to take lead. I'm obviously the guy that's calling the formation and the snap count. So just making sure that I'm putting those guys in front of me in the right position, because what I'm calling out is where they're going to go, where their eyes are going to start. So, definitely just taking that leadership role and being able to make sure that, it all goes smoothly.
Well, I got to ask you a question. One of the best games we've seen from an Eagles receiver was last week, of course. the Slim Reaper, Devontae Smith. Before we get even into that game, what he did, which is incredible, what does this guy look like in practice to you?
I mean, he does the same things, sometimes even crazier things in practice than he does in the game.
Wow.
You know, his pedigree, what he's been able to accomplish throughout his football career, I think just goes to show the type of football player and the type of person he is, how hard he's worked for it. And, you know, the product that he puts out there on Sunday is what we see throughout the week, and even better throughout the week. So, you know, it's a blessing to be his teammate and just see some of the extraordinary things that he does.
It sounds like nothing he does surprises you. Even that 183-yard output, 79-yard touchdown. I mean, it just seems to come natural for him. And he bounces back from every big hit that he takes.
That's it, yes.
That's one of the craziest things is, you know, he makes these catches. I think about the one against Minnesota going across the middle with Harrison Smith right in front of his face. Like, he's just so focused on the football and making sure that he makes that catch, that he doesn't care how hard he gets hit or if his body gets flipped, you know, 360 backflip style. He's going to make the catch, and you know that's the confidence that everybody has in him because of the work he puts in.
All right, so we got to talk about one player. Number one, the quarterback, Jalen Hurts. So he has a game. Like the second half, the players were saying after the game, he had that look when you're in the zone. Give us an idea of what it's like to play around Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, he's a winner, man, and you know that's what he breeds within the culture that he creates on this team as well. You know, he's got a big leadership role, and you know, he always breaks it down on win, and you know that's something that as a football team we love doing. You know, everyone's happier, everything's going better when you're winning, and we also understand that there's a lot of sacrifice that goes into that, and you know that's kind of just who Jalen is sacrificing. And putting in the work, leadership by example, everything extra that he does shows us all how much, you know, he cares about winning, and we've got no better choice but to follow around and you know, let him lead us there.
I always get the sense, regardless of what the scoreboard may say, that he just instills an inherent belief within the offense and really everyone on the team. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yeah, I don't think I could have put it better myself. I mean, that's really a great definition, and you know, he instills it in himself so that everybody else can see that, and like I said, we just follow.
Well, one more player. It's the guy who backs him up. The Mormon Missile, as Jordan Mailata calls him. Tanner McKee. He's like a legend, but he doesn't play a lot. Give us an idea of what Tanner McKee looks like in practice.
Yeah, you know, he's exactly what y'all see in the preseason games where he just goes crazy. You know, that's what we're seeing as well.
Yeah, I got it.
He can really throw the football, and you know, you talk about football IQ. That guy is really smart. You know, I get a lot of reps with him throughout practice. So just the way he communicates in the huddle, and you know, takes control as well, and just you know, standing next to him in the backfield, you feel confident that something good's going to happen. And you know, he's a great football player.
Is there anything that you do in terms of pass catching? Like I think AJ catches 350 balls a day. I saw something like that. Is there anything that you do to really fixate on that aspect of your game?
Yeah, I just hit jugs every time we go out there for practice. You know, 500 shots after or right before. You know, so for me, it could be 13 catches, it could be 50, it could be 100, but, you know, I make sure to get them in, so, you know, when those opportunities come to me, I'm going to be ready for them.
How about from a route running perspective? Anything in the offseason that you do to refine that area or really develop it even further?
Yeah, just the different, you know, guys that I work with. Tony Villani out in South Florida is where I do most of my stuff. Yeah, yep. And, you know, you look at the people that he's trained, the wide receivers, running backs, you know, Mark Ingram, Anquan Bolden, a whole list of guys. And, you know, he helps me out with being versatile, showing me how to run routes, and then also taking me through running back drills, and he does a great job.
All right, that's the voice of number 28, Will Shipley. We thank Will so much for coming here to Chicky and Pete's and Roosevelt Boulevard in Philly. And, Will, good luck this week against the Giants.
Thank y'all so much for having me. I appreciate y'all.
All right, it's Adam Caplan. It's Andrew DiCecco. Next week, it's Andrew and Jeff Mosher from Chicky and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey. We'll see you then. Thanks for listening.
You're listening to 1490 WBCB and on your FM dial at 107.3 W297CL Levittown.
Right.